What's going on, guys? Shane aka Musty Yeti here. Today is going to be a first time for me. Today we are going to be spray painting one of my AR-15s. Now if you guys follow my channel, you know that I have several AR-15s. I'm bored, they're stagnant, so it's time to change things up a bit. We're going to be painting this specific AR-15. I'm going to be making some changes to the rail and stock, but this will be the last time you guys see this gun, in this configuration all built. So we're going to be painting the rifle this random Rust-Oleum green color. I'll throw in a picture, but I showed this on Instagram. It was a little test paint job I did just to get people's feedback. The voting was pretty much split, like 49, 50-50. It was split. So I'm just going to kind of go with it either way. But people on Instagram are calling this Vesky Bazooka Green. It's not. It's just a random Rust-Oleum color. I'm kind of purposely avoiding the Rust-Oleum camo line of colors because I don't really like the OD green there. It's just not for me. I don't want to do the flat dark earth, the tan, because I have a couple tan rifles already. And the brown is so dark, it might as well be black. So I'm just avoiding that. I just picked a color that I thought looked kind of cool, and we're going to give it a shot. I just want to explain why I'm doing this now and never have done it before. Maybe you guys are like me back in the past when I had, one or two AR-15s. I was nervous about doing a paint job and potentially ruining that weapon. I know appearances aren't everything, but it is important to me, so I didn't do it before. Now that I have several, I'm not scared to really give it a shot and see what happens. We're not going to be just painting this thing, one solid color of green. We're going to try to give it a Battleworn look. I think I'm artistic enough to pull it off, but since we're going for the Battleworn look, I think it's going to be okay if you get that look that you get with spray paint, where when people handle it a lot, you get the paint wearing away and chipping away. Before, I didn't really like that look, but I think it's going to add to the appearance of this thing if that actually happens in time. So, we're going to give it a shot and just see what happens. Hopefully by the end of this thing, you guys will either see a really cool rifle and follow me along, or you're going to see where I screwed up and learn how to fix those mistakes and make it work for you. It's going to be a three-parter, just so you guys know. In today's video, we're going to be probably not doing any disassembly. There's tons of videos out there. I'm sure you guys can look on YouTube and find a video showing you how to disassemble an AR-15. So today is going to be showing you how to clean your AR to get ready to paint, and how to prep the surface itself to accept paint and hold better. In the second video, we will be doing the actual painting, and I'll show you how to tape things off before you paint. And then the third video, maybe some shots of me putting it back together, but mostly just a final shot of it all put together with all the accessories and stuff on it. When those videos get uploaded, I'll be sure to put them in the card in the corner, whatever corner it's in, I never know. But yeah, this will be the last time you guys see this thing, this configuration, this color. So hopefully this will be a nice smooth process and we have a good final product by the end of this thing. So enough yapping, guys. Let's get the camera to a different location and start the cleaning process. Alright guys, so we got everything completely disassembled. We have the upper completely broken down, which includes the dust cover and the forward assist, so we are bare bones there. And we also have completely disassembled the lower as well. We have nothing on here except for the trigger guard. I'm going to leave this because I want this to be the same color as the rest of the rifle. So everything is stripped and we are good to go there. And like I said, I hope I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be switching out the rails. We're going with the Strike Industries M-Lock rail, the 15-inch. This thing's been sitting in my closet. It's time to go back on. The main reason we're doing this is I wanted to go to M-Lock, whereas the old Noveske was key mod. And also with the Mega Arms upper here, you have this thicker wall here, which a lot of these slim line rails, like the one I wanted to install, won't fit over this specific upper. So we're going to go with a little bit larger diameter rail, which is fine. But we got everything disassembled. Now we're going to move on to the next step. All right, guys, so we're back. We've changed things up a bit. Before I get started, I want to make sure I say that there are a lot of ways you can prep for painting anything, but specifically your AR-15. You can go as simple as just wiping it down, but just keep that in mind that your paint won't adhere as well. You can do kind of what I'm doing and doing the simple green approach, which should take care of a lot of the grease and grime that's on the parts. And you can do brake cleaner. There's a ton of stuff you can do, and each will have varying results and how clean it gets your product. and how well your paint will then adhere to the parts. So I did a little bit of research, and I think that the simple greens would be the way to go. Before you guys get started, you're going to want to get some sort of gloves. You don't want to clean the grease and stuff off of your gun parts and then get your oil from your fingers on there, and that would again inhibit the paint from adhering to the gun parts. So get some gloves. We got those out of the way. Got some gloves. You're then going to want to, for me, I'm going to rough up my surface quite a bit before I paint it. So what we're going to pretty much do today is we're going to clean it with a brush, get it nice and clean, and then we're going to hit it with this thing just to rough up that surface so that paint has something to attach to. So we got that out of the way. And the reason we're doing all that is because I am not too sure about this paint and how well it's actually going to do. So I'm going to do everything I can to help make this process as successful as possible. Again, like I said, if it does chip and stuff, that's okay. I'm going for the Battleworn look. So we're going to get that off to the side. So we have our upper, our lower, and you know, while we're at it, guys, I did some extra parts. So we have our upper, our lower in here. We have the bolt carrier group and the muzzle device. And I think that's about it in here. There's varying levels of how you want to dilute your simple green. It's right on the back of the bottle. I did a 1-to-1, so there's 1 part simple green to 1 part water equal parts. And I can tell you that it's doing a great job. These have actually been sitting in here for 24 hours. I want to make sure it's soaked and really got in there and broke up all that carbon buildup. But within the first hour or two, I already could see, dirt and grime and stuff floating on the top surface of the simple green. So this is I think, going to be a really good process to get your parts really clean. And I actually might start using simple green more often. So obviously you want to either go out in your garage. I lost my folding table, so I'm up in my normal recording area, my table here. Just got a towel down. And simple green, I think, is environmentally safe, so I'm not too worried about this towel. I actually might just wash it and use it for myself. I will say, too, guys, if you hear some family in the background, I have a bunch of family over. I took a break to record this video, so if you hear stuff in the background, I apologize. But let's get to it. So first, we got our upper here. There's going to be a whole lot to this, guys. We're just, like I said, going to scrub everything down. Now, when I actually go to tape everything off, I'm going to tape off the top Picatinny on both the upper and on the rail itself. I do that for 2 reasons. I kind of like the look of the two-tone black Picatinny section on a different colored painted gun. Look how dark that is right there. I hope you guys can see that. And I'm afraid that the paint might add a lot of thickness to the Picatinny, so I'll have some real difficult times getting parts to install in there, which might require me to chip off or take a knife to it or something and chip off the paint so I can install stuff. So again, I'm not going super crazy here. I'm not that picky. Like, I want to get it clean, but I'm not going for the best clean job on the planet, because like I said, if it does chip and stuff, I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure I get all the grooves. You especially want to make sure you get around, especially the dust port here, the ejection port. You want to make sure, the ejection port here, and make sure that's nice and clean, because you're definitely going to have build up in those areas. Any of you guys own an AR, you know that you do see when you put grease or into oil on your gun, you definitely see it come out in the like the safety stuff like that. So I'll make sure I scrub the lower really well too. Now, like I said, this is going to be all a big learning experience for me. So I think I'm just going to take these in the sink, rinse the simple green and anything that's sitting on there off, and just set them on, the towel here to dry. So I think this part is as good as it's going to get. I think I'm going to go rinse it off with water, and then I'm going to actually take it downstairs to my compressor and blow it out, and then we'll be good to go with this part. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I actually realized, what I should be doing is I should be scuffing it up and then rinsing it off so I don't have any of those you know, particulates, those small pieces of dust and stuff on the gun before I paint it. So I'm just going to go ahead and rough it up real quick. I don't think this is even really going to show up if I even got a close-up of this. This is a pretty fine Scotch pad, but I think it's going to do just enough to help get that paint to stick to this upper just a little bit better. And you can even use this later if you want to hit the high ends to you know, reveal some more of that black to get more of that battle-worn look. Or if you did like a, you know, a light silver base coat to get like an aluminum look, you could then paint it whatever color you want to, then hit these high spots with this, you know, Scotch pad here and get that aluminum color coming through so it looks like the raw metals underneath. Let's just get in these areas. And again, if the nooks and crannies you can't get to, I'm not worried about, because that's what I want to be, you know, black and battle-worn anyway, is those really small nooks and crannies. What I'm really worried about is these big, wide open, flat spaces here where I want to make sure the paint sticks. You know, maybe I should have done this first and then cleaned it. I don't know. I can maybe give it one more once over. This, like I said, this is one big learning process for me. So I think that's pretty good. I'll give this one more once over. Hopefully the guys at Mega Arms aren't throwing up watching this, but hopefully they'll be pleased with the end result. Okay, we'll give it one more. Look how dirty that is. It's crazy. That's probably a lot of the... One more of these real quick just to break all that stuff up. Okay, now we're good. So now I'm going to go rinse this thing off and sit off the side to dry. Alright, so now let's go and take care of the lower receiver. Take this out and... Oh, I gotta... Yeah! I hope you guys saw that. Alright, so I'm actually going to scruff it up first, and then I'll clean it with the green brush here. Hopefully... God, I hope my audio hasn't been horrible, so I just realized my microphone is bouncing around a stuff ton. Oh, it's showing some feedback. That's unfortunate. Sorry, guys, for that. Let me move it over here. I actually use the blue Yeti. It's got a really good mic for a pretty decent price. So hopefully you guys can hear me okay when it's way over there. But now you won't hopefully get any of those sound effects from me hitting the table. So again, really focused on these flat areas, but the notches not so much. Now you guys are probably hearing all the gun parts that I took off this thing are just sitting off to the side over here. And then maybe I'm being a little too aggressive with this part. I think that's pretty good. I don't think we need to go crazy. I'm trying to see if any of the black's coming off. Make sure we get this part. Alright, that's pretty good. Other side, might as well redip it. Whoop. Alright, here we go. Almost there already. Just got to do... I already cleaned the rail. I don't know if I said it before, but I'm doing the Strike Industries rail, the 15-incher. So that one was already cleaned. I just did it because obviously I can't fit it in this little tiny Tupperware container. And I figured you guys need to see me clean and scrub every single part. So that part is all done. Is that getting... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get the trigger guard, which I don't think is going to... I mean the magazine release. I think it's that important because I'm going to black that out for sure anyway. Those parts. I should have got those off the table. Sorry about that, guys. I think that's pretty much it. I'm not worried about where the pistol grip gets installed. I guess I could get this part. I'm not too worried about the... this is a Magpul trigger guard here. I'm not too worried about that because it's polymer and plastic. I think it's going to stick to that just fine. I think I said adhere about 1,000 times. Sorry for that. I tend to find a word that works for me and I stick with it. Don't ask me why. Let's get the bottom of this. Okay, I think that's good. I ripped the glove, so we'll make sure we're extra careful with that. Let's give it a quick wipe down here. I don't think that's dirt on the towel. I think that's the ballooning coming off, which is good. That means that this scrub brush here is doing its job. Alright, I think that's all she wrote for this. Make sure I get this trigger guard. So that paint, make sure it sticks. I would say make sure you guys put on some crappy clothes for this, and which I didn't, because it's just going to fling stuff all over the place. Can we get one of the dips here? I'm going to go rinse it off, and I'll be right back. I think that's it for this. Alright guys, that is it for the prep work before you paint and tape your AR-15. So I'll go ahead and annotate when the next video is up in the corner here, that you can click on the card to see the next video on how to tape and paint and then distress your AR-15. So that's it guys, I appreciate you checking out this first video. We'll see you in the next one. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down in the comment box below. As usual, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.